Hey there, Norman here from WoCode, and today we're going to be discussing the floating gallery widget. The floating gallery offers a very unique interactive gallery experience. As I move my cursor around the gallery, you could see the thumbnail images shifting in response to my mouse movement. It allows you to load up to 16 images that are then displayed as floating thumbnails. When I click onto a thumbnail, it takes me to a details page with the full size version of the image, a title, description, and a button. And there's also a back button that allows me to navigate back to the main gallery. This gallery is entirely self contained within one widget, and the detail pages are generated by the widget itself, saving me from building actual detail pages separately from the gallery. This widget is great for photographers, artists, or designers that want to show off their portfolios. Let's go ahead and jump into the builder and take a look at how this widget is set up. Here in the builder, we have our bakery template, and if we scroll down below the daily deals section, I'd like to add the floating gallery to showcase various images of the bakery products. Let's open up our widgets panel here, and let's grab that floating gallery, drag it in, and we'll just create a new row. Now, before we begin diving into the widget itself, this widget can be used in a normal row or full bleed row. For this demonstration, I'm going to set the row to full bleed. So open the row, edit design, and enable full bleed. Perfect. Also, due to the nature of the way the widget is loaded into the builder, if you make a change within the widget but don't immediately see that change, you'll simply need to do a quick refresh of the builder to allow the widget to load that change. This won't be the case outside of the widget on the preview URL or live site, just within the builder. Now that we have that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump directly into the widget and take a look at all the options that it offers. Starting from the top and working our way down, the first thing we have is the background text first line. This is the top line of text that you'll see behind the gallery. For this example, I'm going to change this to the word hour. And the next option we have is the background text second line. This will be the bottom line of text that you'll see behind the gallery. For this example, I'll leave this as the word gallery. We'll scroll this down a bit so we can see this better. And while we're here, you might notice that although the text is not all caps, the gallery does automatically display the background text in all caps. Next on the list, we have our gallery items. This is where you'll add your images, and each image can have a title, a subtitle, content, which can also be thought of as a description, and a button. Now, last on the list, we have our back button label. This allows you to change the label for the back button that's shown when an image has been opened. And that's all for the content tab. Now, before we jump into the design tab, I'm just going to quickly fill this widget off screen with gallery items. I'll be right back. All right, so with the images added into the gallery, let's jump over into the design tab and take a look at how to style this widget. There are quite a few options in here, and most are pretty self explanatory and related to the text styling. However, there were a few specific features I wanted to highlight. The first being the first option in the design tab, mobile grid item height. This option allows you to adjust the height of the gallery's thumbnail images for the mobile layout. This can help the images display appropriately proportioned on mobile. Next, let's jump into the background text styling. In here, we can set the styling for the text behind the images in the gallery. But in this tab, we want to take a look specifically at the text vertical margins option. This option is used to apply margin or spacing, if you will, between the two lines of text behind the thumbnails in the gallery. As we can see here, if we make the number really large, that gap in the space increase between the text. And if we bring that number back down, it brings that text closer together again. Next, let's take a look at the options in the item styling panel. If we scroll down, we will locate the subtitle vertical padding option. This option applies a padding between the subtitle text and the title and content text. Think of this as applying a top and bottom padding on the subtitle text. Going down a bit further from there, we'll locate the content vertical padding. This option applies a padding between the subtitle, content text, and the title. Think of this as applying a top padding on the subtitle text. Lastly, we scroll down a bit further, we'll locate the button vertical margin. This option applies padding between the button and the content text and the title. Before we close, I wanted to leave you with a few helpful tips about the images. You've probably noticed that the images in the gallery are all the same shape. They are fairly square in shape, but they are responsive, so they will narrow a bit depending on the size of your screen. On your average 15-inch MacBook, the image thumbnails will be a portrait type aspect ratio. Regardless of what the aspect ratio of the image you load, the images will all be displayed the same. If you load a wider landscape style image, the site visitor will see the left and right edges reduced since they will see the image displayed as portrait instead of landscape. So, our suggestion is to select images that look good as a square or portrait layout. And that's going to do it for this floating gallery widget. As you can see, it's a super easy setup and offers a very unique gallery experience to any site. As always, my name is Norma Durkee, and you've been rocking with the best website builder on the planet, wocode.com. And until next time, as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to support. We're always here to help.